Hello, everybody. This is Meredith here from Thrive. So as we've done before, we've had people watching live. I don't think any of you guys are going to make it on here today, but if you do, feel free to drop a line in the chat, in the live chat, and you can ask more questions. But I do have a list of your questions. Where did I put it? There it is. Of the questions that you guys came up with on Friday. So without further ado, this is Corin, this way. Corin Faye, author of Glory, Honor, Time, which we've been reading on Friday. So thank you, Corin, so much for joining us today.
Oh, I've been so looking forward to this. It'll be awesome.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk to you. The students have been so enjoying Glory, Honor, Time. It's been so much fun reading it with them because they have no idea what's coming. And I've caught a couple of them like looking ahead, and I told them they weren't allowed to do that. I said it's a cold read. You can't look ahead and find out who did it. You wanted to know who did it, that kind of thing. And they're like, "Is the ship going to go down?" Or I was like, "Oh, you just have to wait and see." Yeah, but they're absolutely loving it. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah. No, it's an honor to have it be read.
Absolutely. So let's see. We've been doing a series of videos about with different film professionals, and we've talked to your brother Shane, which was wonderful. He had so much to share, and then we talked to our friend Emily, and she had, oh my gosh, so much also to talk about, and then my mother-in-law. But Corin, you have more of a theater background. Yes. Your plays that you're writing are for stage rather than for film. So could you kind of explain to us what you think is the difference between the two?
Yeah, I've tried to write for film.
Okay.
You have to, it's the camera that throws me off.
Yeah.
The stage I can do because you just a limited space. You know where everybody's going to be facing, and you just fill that space with people who talk to each other in really entertaining ways. That's what you have to do. Film, like camera is like close up, medium, as so much how it's visualized. It's very different. And I've tried doing it, and I'm like, I always break down to the dialogue because that's what I know how to do.
Okay.
And that's always the theatrical part of it. And how you can tell a story visually through cinema is amazing, but it does not come naturally to me. You can have like a 10-minute montage and tell the camera to look at like light reflecting off the water and a couple strolling down the sidewalk and stuff, and very little can actually be happening, but you can still have a really beautiful story. Whereas that's a lot harder in theater. You have to have things happening and much more drama and kind of nonstop verbal kind of wordplay to keep everybody engaged.
Exactly. And that's definitely what especially Glory, Honor, Time. We were talking about, the students and I were talking about how there's little to no blocking in it.
Yeah.
Right. It's all just dialogue. So, but I kind of like that because something you and I have talked about before is like Agatha Christie and how free she is.
Yes.
Right? You can do a lot with her. You can see a lot in her stories.
Yes.
And the same with Shakespeare. I think that's why Shakespeare is timeless, right? Is there's no blocking. So there's a lot of dialogue, and it's all about the power of that and how you can interpret it. So yeah.
I love that part of theater.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There are definitely playwrights that I've read. I think Tennessee Williams does a lot of stage direction.
Okay.
To the point where it's kind of like, oh, they have so little freedom in terms of how, I mean, if they wanted to stick according to script, a lot would be decided for them.
Right.
Whereas Shakespeare, it's like, wow, you could just do anything.
Right. Any time, any place, any, yeah. So you definitely prefer more of that. So what has inspired you as a playwright?
Absolutely Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I love how he works the whole world into the dialogue.
Yeah.
Like you can have the sets and the costumes and they add something beautiful to it, but the whole world of the story is spelled out in the dialogue. Everything that you need is in what the characters are saying to each other. So the language really kind of carries everything. And then you have this free range to decide how it's going to engage people visually, because that part is still important. It's just as important.
Right. Yeah.
But when you think about it, all Shakespeare really had to do was come up with I'm going to have a whole story and dialogue and what people are saying to each other, and then someone else will come up with how to make this visually, come across to the audience. I've done the dialogue. I've done the literary side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that because it's like simple. My job is simple.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you ever, let's see, you have performed Glory Honor Time, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that part of the process? Like, how did you come around to doing that, and that whole story? Tell us
Yeah.
the story behind Glory Honor Time.
Yeah. So I used to do murder mystery parties every year,
Mm-hmm.
every January, and they were getting more and more complicated because I was writing more and more, like it was a whole script,
Right.
and we'd have to have props and stuff. And I hadn't done that in a long time. The last one I did was like 16 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, I'll do that again. That sounds fun. Um, and I loved writing it. I think I realized that I need to release the scripts earlier because it was basically just a cold read at that party.
Oh, okay.
People got the scripts. They'd not seen it before. They knew what their characters were going to be, but they did not know what they were going to say.
Okay.
And I realized it worked when the scripts were simpler and it was more
Mm.
of like a murder mystery out of a box, which I used to love to do.
Yes.
But now this is like a full-fledged play.
Right.
And I couldn't do like this. One of the reasons the script is so simple and there's not a lot of blocking is that I'm not really super talented with that. I need someone else to come in and start directing. And I realized that night. I kind of knew that ahead of time. That's why I didn't put a lot of stage direction into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't necessarily love the fact that it was just talking heads.
Yeah.
And I think that also I was like, this needs to be in the hands of a director. It was great for a what do you call it? Like a practice run, a workshop.
Yeah, or workshopping. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because my brother filmed it.
Okay.
It was just point and shoot, so it wasn't, the camera just kind of sat there, but it gave me a way to look at everything, what everybody was doing, and hear the script over again.
Right.
But also what my brother said was, if you did a script that had more blocking in it, we could plan the camera moves and we could, it's more, it has depth then because you have people moving around. Whereas the more talking heads it is, the more it feels a bit one-dimensional.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, if this was performed on a stage, I mean, you could do it with them all just sitting around in a circle in the first act, which is what we did at the party. But it would be great if they were moving around and had other things to do, and there was a little bit more of a dynamic interplay between them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what that the one time that I staged it, basically, that's what I was thinking was like, I've done my part. I'm just not as good at taking it into the blocking and something that a director would be more about, which would be the costumes and how it's going to engage people visually.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you haven't so when you did this with people and you filmed it, it was like a cold read.
It was cold read.
That was okay. Okay. So you've never blocked it before or anything?
Never blocked it.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Because when I write it, like I have all the details. I have too many details. You see my script.
Yeah.
They have way too many details because I am visualizing in a very specific way, but I'm also trying. See, I have a harder time letting go and letting the actors do their own thing. Mm-hmm. Like I have a very specific how I want it to look, but I am planning it for these students and planning it for a specific thing, right?
Yeah.
But so, yeah, I love the freedom that you gave us with this one. I think that's part of why the students have really enjoyed just reading it is because they all are picturing something different. And so then when I pause it and I film those videos, I record their voices giving you comments, right? And then I send those to you. I love being able to send those to you because I hope you can hear how excited they are and how engaged they are. Because it might just be talking heads, but your dialogue is fantastic. And so it carries so much and they're so inspired by it.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It was really fun to do it. Like the one time I did it, we were having a really fun time.
Right. Yeah.
It was enjoyable to see people acting out these crazy characters.
Right. Exactly. So yeah. So what did they think? Were they surprised by the characters, by where the characters went in the course of the?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
They were.
Yes.
Yeah. And they really made so many, it was a beautiful effort to do something right at the last minute because the lady who played Mrs. Purchase was like, I had to think of a way to like convey my fear of tea.
Yes.
You know, she was like, why would I be fearful of tea? You know,
Right.
and there was the hypnotic duel, you know, and there was like so I mean, I really
Yeah.
put them through their paces.
Yeah.
If that's hitting you right in the face, but the more engaging it is though, the more that they want to just get into it, which was so fun. They really just loved it and they got into it.
Right, exactly.
So,
Yeah. I wish I'd recorded it while we were reading it also, just so you could have heard the gasps and the surprise moments and the laugh lines, like those things that are making them laugh.
uh-huh.
Because it's a lot. Sometimes they laugh and when I don't laugh and vice versa. So
Yeah,
it's interesting to see like what they're noticing. And but especially the gasp lines, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like, yeah.
yeah,
They love the whole Flora thing. What we ended up doing with Flora was I have 18 students in the class and there's only 12 written parts, including the bit parts. And so we ended up dividing Flora into 3 different voices for, for her different personalities. And that was really fun because then each one of them brought something completely different to her,
yeah.
and to her personality. And
Mhm.
it was really engaging.
Honestly, Flora was my favorite character from. I love all those characters because they're so crazy, but Flora,
Mhm.
she's just. I was surprised by her as the author because
Right. Yeah.
you do discover your characters as you write them, and I was like, wow, she's got a lot of layers.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was going to be another one of my questions was, yeah, did you know the ending? Is this a mystery where you knew the ending or was this a discovery, right?
This was a discovery, right?
Okay.
I kept going through different solutions that were possible,
Okay.
and when I finally made up my mind, I had to go back and change things
Hmm.
to match the ending.
Okay.
So, no, in fact, some of it was like, especially with Flora and the duel and everything, I was like, I don't know where this is going to end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, because the other thing I asked them is if they were following the whole Val Honor scandal thing. They were like, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely. No, yep, I got it. Yeah." So because I wasn't sure because we've had to read this over 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and so it was like right in the middle of Act One, we had to cut it, and so it was. I wasn't sure what details they remembered and everything, but as we were going through it before we started again, I was like, okay, so let's recap. What do you remember your character? What's happening?
Yeah.
And they did a great job at that. They remembered it fully.
Yeah.
So I
That
think
was
they're unique enough that they're definitely, you remember it. So
yeah, I was encouraged at the read, when we did the kind of the cold read together because
Mhm.
they were able to follow it, which that's always iffy when you're writing a murder mystery.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the clues are going to be picked up by people. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We talked about, so at the end of this last one, I think I shared it with you, where they were talking about their different ideas of like objects that they would hold, pieces that they that would be part of their personality.
Yeah.
So I loved hearing that because they also had some great ideas for the blocking for oh yeah, we'd be up and moving and so it makes me really want to workshop it some more with them because they have great ideas. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, yeah, fantastic. Let's see. I'm mostly sharing this video with the theater students so we can talk a little bit more specifically about your script.
Mhm.
Um, so if you're watching this and you're just part of Thrive and you haven't read this, reach out to me and let me know, and I can give you kind of a synopsis or ask some of the theater students and they can let you know. But actually, Corin, do you want to give us just a basic synopsis? Like what is the plot of your play?
So it's a group of people on the Titanic who are trying to solve the mystery of the murder of their steward who was looking after them on the Titanic.
Mhm.
And they all know each other at the beginning, but they're still having to get to know each other.
Mhm.
And so it's all about them kind of revealing kind of the craziness of their individual lives as the ship is going down.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, and not to give anything away, but that's kind of the premise of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I mentioned that yet. It's set on the Titanic
Yeah.
on the day that it just
Yeah.
hit an iceberg. And it is the kookiest group of people. I was thinking about it and it reminds me of an Oscar Wilde play
Yeah.
where it's just that kooky bunch of individuals or like Big Fat Greek Wedding, one of those, satirical comedies where it's somebody like that, but you've never seen them all in the same room together. So,
Yes.
and it's just a little bit crazy, just a little bit outside of the realm of possibility, but that was something else I asked the students, was like, is it still believable though? Is it still, and yes, even with a ghost coming in and everything, like it was, they love all of that. So, it's a very funny play. Because then like, as they're sitting there talking about this murder mystery, I also loved how you jump us right in the middle of it. So he's already dead, and it's, oh my gosh, so who did it, right? And it must have been one of us. But you drop us right in the middle of the action. And so there's no like, and then you just describe what happened. There's something about like hauling his body over the stairs and you drop him a couple times or something like that. Like, I love all that because the way you described it, it's very visual, but we don't need to have seen it.
Yeah.
But it did make me kind of think, like, if I ever directed it, I almost would want it to open with that, like with like a pantomime of them like hauling some poor step down the stairs, and then move to the room and come into that moment and start talking.
Yeah.
But there's so many. It's because they're all first class passengers in some way, even though some of them, like Elliot, it's kind of like, really, how are you a first class passenger? But then you discover kind of why he's able to afford a first class passage. But then you've got Lady Lavinia Bathwater. I also love your names. Love your name. Okay, here, let's go through the cast of characters. Let's see. We've got Lady Lavinia Bathwater, who is, I didn't write down who they are. So let's see. She's the one who she carries a lot of the conversation. She's kind of the leading matron of the group. She has a mysterious tie-in with a scandal that happened in the past, the Val Honor scandal. And what the students talked about was her drinking something sophisticated and steadily getting more drunk the closer to it going down. Because she kind of just keeps going.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, Corin, they haven't read the ending yet, so they haven't read the second act. So at this point, but what I love is as they're talking, like, the ship shudders, and I should have brought up your script over here, because there's a line about how even the Titanic is shuddering at this revelation or something like that. It has something to do. They think it has something to do with what's going on in the room, and they're all kind of ditzy first class people. And so they're just completely involved in their own thing. And then at one point, Lady Lavinia says something about, like, there's a tilt in the floor. Why is the floor tilted? And I think it's the steward who explains that, well, it's for bowling. Like, we're so on top of things. We wanted our best passengers to be able to go bowling. Crazy. Or maybe the ship is sinking. One or the other. Oh my God. It's so funny. Anyway, so there's her, there's Mrs. Purchase. She's the one that most of the students have just loved, because she has an aversion to any liquid. She thinks it's tea. Right. And so she's afraid of, so they were like, so she should be constantly like shrinking away from the drink table. And if someone comes and sits down next to her with a drink, she gets up and moves and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we'd had more blocking, I was like, I just want like a steward to walk in the door with like a tray of tea and her to be like,
exactly. Right. And so she even thinks they're on a boat of tea. Like, it's in the ocean. The ocean is tea. So somehow she's in the middle of all this liquid, and so that's why her doctor is with her, Dr. Albert, right? So Dr. Albert is there, and they pictured him wearing a monocle and smoking a cigarette or a pipe. Yeah. And being very, just very fastidious, and probably a goatee or something like that, right? Yes.
And maybe a vaguely Austrian accent.
Right. Yes. And that's how the student who's reading him has kind of added that. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. I also love that how the students have, because it's very brief descriptions of the characters at the beginning. So we didn't like audition for it. We just had them. I just read out the character and said, who wants to be this person?
Yeah.
And just went based off of that. And so they picked these characters, but then what they've brought to it, yeah, it's funny how many like accents have come out. And it's you have written it so well so that the accents come through just in the natural, because you haven't written it in like dialect.
No.
But it's clear from how he's speaking and who he is, right? That he probably is Austrian or some of, you know, I think part of that is the whole Freudian thing.
Yes.
So that he's better than Freud. He's smarter than Freud. So
yes.
Which he says at one point. So let's see. And then there's Elaine, who's dripping in jewels. So we've got her. Yeah, we were like, oh my gosh, she would have just tiara and everything. And then we pictured Ludovic with like a whiskey in hand. So just kind of, how do you pronounce it? Ludovic,
yeah.
Ludovic,
yeah.
Yes. And he's the inventor of poison gas.
Yeah.
Which then, because these are homeschool students, as soon as I read that, she said, that's not who invented poison gas. I was like, I love that you know who the real person is, but bear with me. It's okay. We'll get through this.
Yeah.
And then they had a whole discussion about when was the mask invented, because somebody said, well, maybe he's got like a mask hanging on his belt. And they're like, oh, I don't think that was invented until World War II, because that has something to do with Hitler. That's why his mustache was short, was because he couldn't wear a gas mask over a big mustache. And that's why that became a thing, is what I've heard before. Something like that.
Okay.
But, yeah. So, but I think there was poison gas in World War I also. So.
Yeah, I don't know when the masks were invented.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that came up. So that's the kind of conversations we're having. It's fantastic. I love it. And then Elliot. So Elliot is the one who's a comic book creator, or Penny Dreadfuls or something like that. And but also he makes fake jewelry.
Yes.
Right. And so that was revealed. So that was one of those moments when they were reading it and they were like, oh my gosh. Okay. There's another layer I didn't see coming, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They loved that. Yeah. And so they thought like Elliot would have probably always have like a sketchbook in hand, and maybe he's sketching or even making like caricatures of the different characters. And then like every once in a while kind of showing to the audience, like what he's drawing, or like turning to, you know, oh, I'm going to draw somebody, but turning this way. So that way the audience can see what he's drawing. Right. Yep. And just get somebody who really can't draw, just somebody who's got ridiculous artistic skills, who's just big circle, funky face, you know,
and maybe like tearing out the sheets or something.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Not letting them see themselves, you know, because, well, this is just my impression of you. Right. That kind of thing.
So actually I wrote for him to have a sketchbook.
Oh yeah.
But it was too hard because of the cold read. He was going to, the guy playing him had to hold the script. So I ended up writing that out, but it should definitely be added back for a production.
Yes. Yeah. I think that would be fantastic. So, Dorothea. So Dorothea is the ditz. I love her. Who tries to get into, she loses her key to her stateroom. So she has to find a key. So she goes and gets one off her piano.
Yeah.
Because it's a piano key. Trying to get in the door. So she's like, I think she'd still be holding it. Like, I love that. She like still has the piano key in her hand, and it's like, I don't get it. Why didn't this work?
Well, maybe she's waiting for it to work at some point. At some point,
this key is going to be in the right place. It's going to be perfect. So, yes, I love that. It's everybody. Oh, and then Flora. Jason Rackett, who's the dead guy.
Yeah.
Who's the ghost. And they loved thinking about like whether he's somewhere in between a poltergeist and a ghost. And so maybe he'd be like kind of messing with them and maybe doing some magic tricks, some kind of like floaty things, making things float and things like that. And just kind of, because he's in the room, but he's not always engaged in conversation.
Yeah.
He's tends to just kind of listen, and then he'll kind of fade out of the room, and then he'll come back and and he's been talking with the other ghosts.
Yeah.
Like that. But they were like, well, it's hard on a stage play to make a ghost fade in and out, especially on our budget.
Yeah.
But like, how would he? But still, we were like, but you could still do some fun things with wires and things, and and have him just kind of be messing with things, because he also keeps playing around with like, well, I'm going to choose to be a servant now because I have the choice.
Yeah.
So because I have the choice now, I will do that. And whether to be courteous or not and things
Yeah.
like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was another thing I wanted actually to write in for him, that he would be doing things like that.
Okay.
And it didn't, because of the cold thing, I played Jason.
Okay.
So I had to just have the script and make sure everything was going well.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just figured if someone else ends up directing this, they can have him do his crazy stuff and they can just choose what that is. It doesn't have to be in the script. But
Right. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
the end idea for me was for him not to just kind of be standing there listening, but for
Right.
some weird stuff, like almost like a tray would like start levitating,
Right.
and he'd go and like kind of take it as it was levitating, something like that,
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes the other thing is like sometimes he can physically move objects, right?
Mhm.
He can actually he offers somebody a drink or something, and
Yeah.
but then other times he doesn't seem to be able to interact with the real world, and so we thought, well, you can play with that though. You can play with
Mhm.
again, it's a choice thing, right?
Mhm.
He's choosing to interact with the real world or not,
Yeah.
depending on how the mood strikes him, right?
Mhm.
So,
Well, he
yeah.
interacts with the real world when he's around people who are still living,
Oh, okay, there we go.
and then when he's with Dorothea and they're both dead, then they're smoking underwater,
They
and
haven't
that's
gotten that part yet.
sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah,
I'm leading away, guys.
sorry.
It's okay. I'll just skip over that part. Um, okay, I hadn't noticed that. Okay, interesting. I'll see if they pick up on that. Okay, so that's really interesting then that most of these things you're like, oh yeah, that's what I had pictured. So that means that your script, without even you putting it in there, they are picking up on what you're laying down without it, even you commenting on it. So
Mhm.
that is the mark of a really good script, I think.
I'm
That's
glad that it's working like that because
yeah.
you absolutely do not know when you're writing it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's fantastic. So, yeah, so tell us about there's another project you're working on that I'm currently reading.
Mhm.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that script?
Yeah, so that actually came about because my brother wants to do a project with me
Mhm.
and wants to do more camera work and
Mhm.
wants there to be more complex blocking.
Mhm.
He also wants to make a short film, and he's
Mhm.
been asking me to write a script for that for a while. So I wrote a play called Checkmate,
Mhm.
where my brother can film a short film that's a noir murder mystery.
Mhm.
And in the production, that's the actors or as characters that they're playing are watching the film and trying to solve the mystery based on clues in the film. So
Okay.
it's kind of like it's multimedia because it's meant to be performed as a play, but part of the play is the projection of this film, that this film crew, where someone has been murdered on the
Mhm.
film set, captured by camera, is now going back and looking at basically their what they've accomplished with the film so far because the clue to the mystery is there.
Right. Exactly. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I'm only through act 1 so far, but so far what you've been doing is they're watching the film in reverse
Yeah.
and the play is going forward. Does that continue through the whole thing?
Yeah, because films are made out of order.
Right. Yeah.
The different scenes are filmed out of order. So as the play progresses, it doesn't consistently move backwards in time. It hops around in time, but
Okay.
it's the film is not following like sequential time like the play
Right.
is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that because because that's such a cool juxtaposition. That's
Mhm.
such a unique idea to do
Yeah.
that on stage. So you have like everything because it's the same actors, right, who are
Yeah.
in it. So everything is filmed beforehand, but then
Yeah.
they're commenting on it in real life. And oh yeah, that's such a neat concept. So how did you come up with that?
Um, I needed to have a kind of structure where there could be a film element for my brother to do his short film,
Okay.
but then there was the play element because I can't write a full-length film. So it was to accommodate my need to write a theater script
Okay.
because the main script is a theater script. So it's people
Right.
in limited spaces.
Right.
And then they're watching something that's being projected that is made more like a movie.
Right.
So you can have both of those in there, and it could be performed as a play. So it's something that I can actually write as a script.
Right.
And I could write the short film just based on the things that need to happen to help them figure out the murder. And then my
Mhm.
brother and Emily could figure out how to turn that actually into a movie with the camera capturing all that.
Right.
Does that explain that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so I guess I'm wondering, so did you write the film first or is it, again, a discovery write? You just kind of wrote it and it worked
It
out.
was a discovery write.
Wow.
Because they had to be completely intertwined. And I
Yeah.
didn't know how they were going to be I didn't know how to intertwine them except to have them both integrating into the same action that you see on stage.
Okay.
So I had to go back and change aspects of the film from the beginning because I had to change the short film to match the solution to the mystery that people are working out, together as they're watching it.
Okay. Yeah.
But the two were written like side by side together.
Okay.
And that kind of writing I love in a sense because it is discovery writing and it's really fun.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a nightmare when it comes to like consistency issues because I don't have it planned out. So I'm constantly finding these details that don't align with each other because I changed something and then forgot there's a whole ripple effect when you make any small change.
Yes.
So that can kind of drive me crazy, but it's how I choose to write. So I can't complain too much about it.
So has Shane or Emily seen the script yet?
Shane, my brother, has seen the first act.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So, and he wants to do it. Emily wants to do it. She's planning on making her feature film soon. So I'm not sure how soon we'll get around to this.
Right.
But whenever we can, it will be really, it'll be a blast.
I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to it's a really neat concept. And in there, you do have you have camera shots planned. You have like them following her down the hall and the maid down the hall and things like that. A few things, very minor.
Very minor. Yeah. Always knowing that they will probably end up changing it.
Yeah.
Because they know how to do a whole film set thing.
Right. Right.
I just need to make sure that what the camera is seeing is exposing just enough of the clues.
Right.
So I would give that to them and say, you can change the camera angle and different things, but these are the things you can't show.
Right.
And these are the things you have to show, and in this order.
Right. Exactly.
As long as they do that, they can kind of fiddle with anything else that they need to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That'll be so neat. Because again, like your visualization, it's so well written because you can see it happening. You can visualize them like, they're watching the video and here it is here. And, but again, you've got these extremely unique, kooky characters who, like in the opening scene, the guy running he's like the manager of the bank, right?
Yeah.
And his secretary swap spots, and they both just kind of go with it.
Yes.
Sure. Why not? Now I'm in charge. And it's fantastic. But it was one of those, it surprised me, but it didn't surprise me so much that it pulled me out. It was just enough of a change that it was like, okay, and here we go. Because I was expecting him to be kind of leading the conversation. So it was nice to see them swap. And then, now she's in charge, the secretary. And, but has a full, is completely following the conversation with the detective and everything. And seems to know everything. And it's just, it was really fun. So,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to reading more of that one. So, so I guess so that really just came about because you were trying to do something with film with your brother.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything like that? I'm trying to think of a play where they would do anything like that. I've seen multimedia, like Newsies use this multimedia things, but the idea of having a pre-recorded video that is happening on stage at the same time as you're watching the live people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a unique concept.
Yeah, I've never heard of that being done before either.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, you're on the edge of something. That's
It's so interesting because it's just a practical decision so I can work with my brother.
Yeah.
It wasn't really to do that. It was more just because he wants to do a short film, and that's a way to be able to free him up to do his short film and integrate it into this larger performance so that the film is seen as a part of this bigger story.
Yeah.
Which
it feels like an Agatha Christie thing. It feels like something that I don't know. I'm very excited. I can't wait for you to do this. And
I take that as a major compliment because I love Agatha Christie, as you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It just feels, Anyway, enough. Okay. Let's see. What shows inspire you? We touched on that. Let's see, coming up with ideas. So casting. So you did cast your read,
Yeah.
your cold read. How did that go, and how did that come about? Were they all people you knew ahead of time, so you kind of knew who was good for which parts? Did you have it cast in your head, or was it more of a free for all?
So I always write my characters for specific people.
Okay.
That's the beauty of the mystery party is I already have a guest list.
Right. Oh.
And then I write for. So my stepsister Sophie is a concert pianist.
Okay.
So she was going to play Dorothea.
Gotcha.
I wrote Dorothea for her. And all the various characters have their connections to their real life people.
Okay.
What happened was my family had to pull out because I had multiple family members who were going to be in it. It was going to be half friends and half family.
Okay.
The family had to pull out. They didn't realize that the evening was scheduled for the same time as the birthday party of a very much beloved aunt.
Okay.
So I was able to ask Emily to bring more friends down from LA. Okay. That was the first time I've ever had to cast people I didn't know in these parts.
Okay. Yeah.
And Emily helped me with that.
Yeah.
So I sent her digests of the characters and I told her my idea for casting and she did change it up. Okay. Because she knew her friends. Right. And so she recommended, no, I think this one should play this role and this one should play that role. And she was absolutely right. I'm so glad I asked her. Yeah. She is very good with casting. It's so different when you're writing a character for a particular person rather than realizing I'm throwing this completely crazy character at this person cold turkey. Right. Like the Flora character who has to do that duel and have very different modes of being. Right. That was my friend Emily was like, the friend that I have in mind for this is an experienced actress. She'll do great justice to Flora, and she absolutely did. Yeah, yeah. So did that person choose to, did their body language change when they were taking on the different personalities and stuff? So even in a cold read, they were able to. Yeah, because she was an experienced actress. Yeah. Okay. So she was one of the best at anticipating what was coming, even in a cold read. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So she had it down. I mean, her body language changed, her voice changed. Yeah. And she could turn it on and off right then. Wow. So she was great. Okay. Yeah. So that's so neat. Yeah. Experience is always the main thing, right? Whether it doesn't really come down to film school or acting school or non. It's just your experience. It feeds into your ability to do that. That's awesome. Let's see. So you touched on this. How and why did you start writing scripts for the murder mystery parties? Have you continued to write more of those? No, not as such, just because I've realized that I'm getting to the point where I either need to just write it as a play and give it to a director, or probably do mystery parties out of the box because they're too hard for me to do on my own, staging everything. Yeah. Yeah. So, because I'm getting more and more into the complexity of it, and it's harder to do that in a cold read, and a mystery party is a cold read. Right. Because, it's okay if you have a bunch of actors coming over to send the scripts out ahead of time, but I wouldn't necessarily do that for family. Right. And my mystery parties were usually a mix of friends and family. Yeah. And so basically I thought, my brother, when he asked me to do the script of, Checkmate, like you're reading now, I thought, okay, I know I'm writing this for actors. Okay. Yeah. So that'll be that. And the mystery party, if I want to do a mystery party, I'll get a box so that I can be a character and just enjoy it and not have to worry about managing everything. Exactly. Which I haven't done in a long time. But in the past, it was really fun to write those scripts, the mystery party scripts. And I think it's because I hadn't evolved as much as a writer. So they were really, really simple. And now I want to make them complex because I've evolved as a writer. So I want the stories to be able to contain a lot more. Right. And that just makes the performance level more demanding. So you can't expect family to come over and just to be able to do that on a cold read. Right. Exactly. So, but 20 years ago when I was first doing them, right, as a writer just beginning out and kind of doing these as test runs, they were much simpler. Yeah. Whereas now you need more of an improv performance. It was a lot more improv. Only some things were scripted. Right. A lot of things weren't. Like a typical murder mystery out of a box, it was people reading clues and that kind of thing. And that does make it a lot simpler, and it's more of a game as opposed to there were people that I had this time around kind of a little bit nervous
Yeah.
if I didn't have acting experience.
Yeah.
And I had to be like, no, come, it's still going to be fun. But I realized this is like a home theater full on script. And so when I invite people, they don't have theater experience. They're a bit like, oh, should I come?
Right.
So already it doesn't have that game vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Mindset.
Mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. So what other inspiration do you like? Do you prefer musicals over plays? You touched on Shakespeare, but outside of that, like what are other?
Honestly, I pretty much love everything that can entertain me. I love musicals.
Mm-hmm.
I love just dramatic theater.
Mm-hmm.
There are some TV shows that I love.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like I love Parks and Rec.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Okay.
like
kooky characters all in one place. I gotcha.
Lots of ironic humor.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of wit. Your writing is so witty. Like I don't know how you can. I love that it's discovery written because it means it's just coming straight out of your head onto the paper. Because it's just I don't know where you come up with these things.
Yeah, it does just kind of flow out of me.
Yeah.
I do end up doing a ton of revision though. I mean, when I say that it's a discovery write, it's a discovery write with a ton of revision afterwards.
Right.
The discovery write is the first draft. There's so much here that's been edited.
Right.
When you're looking at it, it is not like what I just put down.
Yes.
I had to, especially with discovery writing for me, I have to go back and correct things because I don't know where it's going.
Right. Yes.
So
yeah.
the beauty of
absolutely. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So students watching this. This is something I talk about all the time about one of the things you and I have talked about this as writers, as authors of books, right?
Yeah.
About how it blew my mind when I finally understood that New York Times bestselling authors do not just vomit perfect words. Like that that it's exactly what you just said, that it is crafted. It is a crafting.
Mm-hmm.
You put down what you can and then you edit it and you edit it and you edit it.
Yes.
Right. So much of that beauty comes out of the revision process.
Yes.
And so, so don't sell yourself short when you guys are working on these projects at school and in your writing and in your personal writing and creativity. Like, don't sell yourself short. That is how everybody starts, even the professionals. That's how we do it. So, and
also how we continue, I would say.
Yes.
Because no matter how much I've written, I always do lots of drafts.
Yes.
I always do tons of revision work, and Honor Glory Time went through so many drafts.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I was sending it I did send it to the printers. Actually, I didn't print it at home because it was such a big script.
Yeah.
And even then I was seeing things that I wanted to change. I kind of just had to cut, you just have to cut yourself off from the constant, like I can make this slightly better. Right. You probably always can, but you have to let go of it at some point.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I never feel like a project is perfectly finished.
Right.
I would love it if I ever felt like that. I always kind of, and I am a bit more of a perfectionist.
Yeah.
But I always have to get myself to the point of, this is okay. This is, you can work with this.
Right. Exactly. Sometimes you just have to let it go.
Yes.
That's the hardest part. Because exactly. How often do we publish something and then you see all the errors in it? But I think that's true of that's why these traveling Broadway shows and things like, so we just went and saw Lion King, the Broadway one, came through Denver. We just saw it last night. It was fantastic. It was so good. But there were changes. I've seen it 3 times and I've got the soundtrack. So I know what it was originally, right? Okay. Whereas, because I actually saw it at the Amsterdam on Broadway. It was part of my graduation present when I turned 18 was my mom and I went to Broadway.
Yeah.
And we saw Producers, which was incredible. And then we saw Wicked and Lion King. And so my mom and I were commenting on this one. This was our, a new time watching it. And it was, there were some things that they had changed in the script and in the, the set design and, so it's like, okay, even something that has been around for 20 years, right? They're still making changes.
Yeah.
And it depends on the cast that you have. And they pulled a song that we were expecting and added other things. And it was but it was all like, okay, but it was also interesting to think like, okay, why did they make that choice? Because I liked how it was originally, so why did
Yeah.
they change it?
Yeah.
But then other things that they added and changed, it was like, okay, no, that was I like that better. That's a good, it means they heard all the comments, right?
Yeah.
They heard all the feedback.
Yeah.
But that's encouraging to me
Mhm.
as a creative, right? To see that, to go, okay, even they are still fixing it, you know.
Yes.
Whereas a movie, they can't do that,
No.
right? Once
Nope.
it's boxed and locked and in the
Yeah.
box office, right?
Yep.
They can't make changes anymore.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's part of why film is taking a hit right now. Is it's harder for that medium
Mhm.
to, because you can't expect perfection straight out of the door. And
Mm-mm.
that they are expected to spend billions of dollars and then deliver quickly. So they
Yes.
don't have time to
Mhm.
spend on that revision part of the process, which is where that gold comes out,
Yes.
you know?
Yep. Also, I will say that, because it's so technological, it dates more quickly.
Yes.
So even just down
Yes.
to the camera lens and film stock, you
Mm,
know when a film is made in the 90s. You
yeah.
wouldn't be able to tell if a play was written in the 90s, though,
Right. Yeah.
because the play is being performed in a theater that's, not dated in the same way that something captured on a camera, an
Right.
older camera would be.
Right. Yeah.
So you'd never have a dated look to a play. Even
Right.
if it is dated, it's it
Yeah.
still is being presented to you in live real-time performance in your own era.
Mm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Though there are certain plays that like I wouldn't I wouldn't go see anymore. Certain ones that you're like, wow, how is that a classic?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not saying that the plays are still, like,
Right.
should be perennial. I'm just saying it's
Right.
not the difficulty with film, I think, sometimes is that the look of it
Yeah.
gets old so quickly, especially nowadays. And my
Absolutely.
brother was already telling me, like, "Oh, the first few Harry Potters, you can so tell that it was CG and
Right.
stuff
You
like
can do
that. It's so
CGI.
dated."
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm thinking it's only 20 years old, which doesn't seem that old to me because
No.
I'm so used to literature students were like, "Well, we're reading Shakespeare. This stuff is like 500 years old."
Right. Yeah.
But of course it's just the text, and when the text is acted out on the stage, the way the words sound make it sound old-fashioned, but not
Right.
how it looks.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's one of the
Which
things that Oh, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say I was just thinking about that when I was looking at, Checkmate, thinking
Mm.
it's so interesting to be creating something that never has a definitive performance.
Mm.
A film that has a definitive performance unless they shoot it again,
Right.
a remake, but when you're writing a theater script, it could be performed thousands upon thousands of times, and none of those performances are definitive. They all kind of blend together and inform each other.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's also what I love about live theater is, we're talking to the kids last night about watching Lion King and how like, when something goes wrong, I love that because it reminds you this is I'm the only, this is a moment in time. This is
Mhm.
never it's not recorded, it's not gonna be repeated, right? So I will always remember the time that like I saw Thoroughly Modern Millie and she got stuck in the desk. There was a point where she was supposed to sit on the edge of a desk and then do this like sultry pose, right? Because she's trying to seduce her boss, but she's clumsy at it, and so she's supposed to fall into the desk. Well, so she fell back, but then she got stuck, and she she couldn't get out, and it became quickly apparent that like this was not planned because you could see her co-actor going, okay, so it doesn't work for my character to come help her. He wouldn't help her. So I
Yep.
can't come help her. So I'm just going to stand here and wait for you to get yourself out of the desk. And she just fought with the desk over and finally got out and everybody cheered when she got out of the desk. But it was like, I love those moments because nobody else, I mean, the other 300 people who were there seeing it with me are there. But other than that, like that's a singular
Mhm.
moment. And I love that.
Yeah.
It's what makes theater so, love it.
I enjoy the small mishaps. They're fun.
Yes, yeah, they're so much fun. So, how about you? What's one that sticks out to you? A live theater performance.
Well, it was one that I was in.
Oh yeah.
Um, I was in a high school production of The Charlotte's Web
Mm-hmm.
where I think everything went wrong that could go wrong.
Oh no.
Um, The set collapsed one time during a performance. Also, I think one of the characters knocked over part of the set too. Someone went backstage with their microphone still on and started swearing. And we started doing the middle of the second act in the middle of the first act somehow, because there was some similar dialogue. So, but
Yes.
I'll always remember that moment where I realized, oh, we've skipped half the play.
Oh my God.
How are we getting? We did get back, but I can't remember how.
Right.
But that's one of those things where you're like, thank goodness this is not recorded.
Oh my God. I love that.
It wasn't meant to be a comedy, but people were laughing so hard.
Right. Yeah.
Laughing at us, not with us, unfortunately.
No. That's why, like, have you seen the Goes Wrong show?
No, but that sounds amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. Yes. It's British, so it's hard to find. Sometimes there's some on Prime that you can see. Have you seen the play Noises Off?
I just saw that in San Diego.
Okay.
I love it.
I want to see it live. I've never seen it live.
You've seen the movie then, right?
I've seen the movie, yeah. So it's
okay.
For students. So for students, check with your parents before you watch it. There's some inappropriate. There's a reason why we won't do it at Thrive. Just put it that way. But it's like Christopher Reeves and Carol Burnett and Michael Caine, like huge all-star cast, and it's hilarious.
Yes.
And it's about a show going wrong. But it actually, your show, the Checkmate, made me think of that, because it's like because in Noises Off, they put on the show like 3 times.
Yeah.
Right. You go through the whole tech night performance rehearsal, and everything's going wrong. And then somehow the play goes on, right? The play must go on. That's how the show must go on. So then they put it on, and then it jumps to like 2 months later, right? And the drama that's between the different characters has evolved. And now they're putting on the show, but you're seeing everything from behind the show. Yep. And so Noises Off. Everything's quiet in the backstage. So it's all pantomimed, and everything goes wrong. And it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And you know all the drama that's going on between the different characters. And then the third part, so it's like a 3-act part, right?
Yeah.
And the third one, it's a mix of both. It's everything's going wrong, and you're seeing both front and back. But it just made me think of your show, because I was like, okay, well, that's kind of a similar thing, but with a noir mystery bent. Yeah. Here's one version of the show, but then now we're going to see all the characters outside of their characters, and how does that inform what happened in the movie that they filmed. And some of the commentary and stuff is it's very similar. It's not necessarily funny. Some of it's funny, but yeah.
Noises Off, or
in your show, in your in Check. Yes. Totally. Yeah. It's not funny in the way that Noises Off. Noises Off is crazy humor. It's
so funny.
Yes. Yeah.
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 Yep.
That's really good.
I saw that in London many years ago,
and
then it just came through San Diego.
Yeah.
And so I got to see it live again. But I've realized I ended up watching the movie, which I'd never seen before, so I could finally understand all the threads. Because watching it in the theater, it's really, really fun, but you can't pause it and like rewind it.
Okay.
So I was so confused at the end. It was still funny.
Right.
But I was like, I actually didn't catch all the nuances, and you really have to be able to do that.
Right.
So I went back and watched the movie, and it helped me understand the whole drama. It's so intricate.
Right. Yeah. Because it's very fast.
It's so fast.
Fast banter going. Yeah, absolutely. I can see that, how you could miss. Yeah. Well, and also because in the movie, they can come in, they can do close-ups, and they can follow people up the stairs and things like that. Whereas if you're just seeing it on a play, it'd be a lot harder to follow. There would be so much going on.
That's the thing.
With all the different characters, I would want to go back and watch it 3 times just so that I can catch everybody.
I wish I could have seen the play 3 times.
Yeah.
Picking a different part of the stage to focus on every time, because it is one of those things where there's so much going on. I could only follow one subplot happening here.
Right. Yeah. Wow, that's so much fun. Would you ever write something like that?
Honestly, writing Checkmate kind of felt like that.
Yeah.
It was really, that's maybe about the most, I don't know that I could do that level of excitement and energy.
Yeah.
In a play. Maybe it would be awesomely fun to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Checkmate was fun because it had that kind of backstage, front stage feel to it as well.
Right.
So yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So then real quick, because I just realized we are actually almost out of time. I wanted to touch on Honor, Glory, Time, Glory. I always mix them up. Glory, Honor, Time.
Yeah.
Right. Glory, Honor, Time. The set. Any thoughts on like how do you picture the set?
Yeah. I actually picture it more minimal.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be done this way. My idea was to have it mostly dark and just to have people in very like beautiful costumes.
Right.
So to have there be very beautiful costumes and props, but the stage there's no sets really.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the clock, or this is spoiler, but
That's
like there's a way that the clock is evoked
right. Yes.
as a set piece using people
Right.
in the second act. So that would kind of be a way of some significant aspects of Titanic's architecture could be incorporated without using a set.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
But it could, if you had a huge budget and you did sets, that'd be just as good too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like the simpler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you picture? So, what kind of seating arrangement do you picture?
I definitely
see it with the cold read.
Well, we did a circle.
Okay.
And that was complicated because certain characters have to sit in certain chairs. So
right.
Yeah, I had to number the chairs and make sure that everybody knew how that was going to go. But honestly, like a more complex sitting room arrangement where they're not just in a circle and you kind of had people maybe getting up and doing things, or maybe had like I don't know if they had like a little mini bar or something on the Titanic.
That's what I was thinking.
If they had, stuff like that would be interesting. But I mean, if it's entertaining just to have the people sitting around and talking, that's great too.
Right. Yeah.
In the end, it's kind of like I wrote it simply so it could be staged at very low budget, low budget theater where everything is in the language, and so you don't have to have the big stuff if you don't have the money for it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a way of taking that next step? Like, is there somewhere in San Diego that you can pitch it or have them run it or perform it?
I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I haven't really researched that because I dove right into Checkmate.
Yeah.
And my brother, talking about doing Checkmate and kind of having to do that as a film absorbed a lot of my energy. But we'll see. I'll look into that.
Yeah. Because I think it's one definitely that's worth. I'd love to see it performed. So yeah. So
it's interesting when we did the read through, there were certain lines that people laughed at that I thought were more serious.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Because they were how they were read, and that I did love that because I love the variety of theater, and the unexpected for me is the author.
Right.
Because I know that at some future point it might be read the way that I first imagined it, but I'm glad that it's not too.
Right. Okay.
So it's people definitely said things very differently than how I imagined it, but because I'm a theater writer, I love that.
Right.
And at some point, if it's performed enough, someone will probably say it the way that you first imagined it as they explore the different facets of it. So I like that.
Yeah, that variety. Because again, bringing different experiences to it and different interpretations. And
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, but that's good that you have that perspective, because I think that would be the hardest thing about writing plays is letting go of it as an artist, right? I would have it pictured a certain way. So to let somebody do it differently would be difficult.
I feel like that might be because you're a director, though.
I am a director, exactly.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm not a director, so it doesn't bother me when people do things differently. I don't have a super precise vision, and what I see, I'm not overly attached to.
Yeah.
That's what I realized, was having to make it real is not my department, so I get very stressed by that.
Yeah.
And I want people to come in and bring their ideas and their performances, because even though I have something pictured, I'm waiting for other people to kind of carry it.
Yeah.
So, but my friend Emily, if you're a director, though, you have that vision.
Right.
So that's very different. And I would want someone like you or Emily to direct it so that you could bring your vision to it, because I don't have that. So it's kind of learning about myself in the process, what I'm good at, not good at, what I prefer. Behind the scenes script writing is my preference.
Okay.
And what I put into the script are the seeds, and people can do what they will with that. And I'm not super worried about it. Yeah.
Good. Excellent. All right. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Any, like if a student wants to start script writing, what should they do?
Just write.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't worry about it. Just write, just have fun. That's what I did when I started out. I just picked things that I was, whether they were short little skits or long plays, just do what you have the energy for, because the energy is what will carry you through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And watch a lot.
Oh, absolutely. And if you love live theater, just budget to go.
Exactly.
It's possible.
Yeah.
There's nothing like seeing live performance.
Absolutely. Yeah. But like you said, budget for it.
Budget for it. It's not cheap, but it's worth it. When you can, yeah.
It's so worth it. Oh, it's unfortunate. It's yeah. Awesome. Well, wonderful, Corin. Thank you so much. This was wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll check off for now, and I'll be sharing this with y'all soon. We got to finish the. Now I'm thinking maybe we'll finish the play and then I'll share this. So
Okay.
We'll see. It's okay. It's just that one part where we gave away a little bit. But all right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Corin.
Yeah. Thank you too.
Bye.
Wonderful.